That's right. Big trust. That's right. Well, now that you've heard some inspirational quotes from Mark Ingram, running back for the Baltimore Ravens, fantastic, great running back there. What a guy. Since he came out of college, what a guy. We're going to talk about, obviously, you got to cover the fact that we were looking good here. I was afraid for bad news, but we ended up getting some positive news. So, my good old man Donnie, he went ahead and eased some of the concerns of the market by not retaliating with force, but retaliating with sanctions. So that's a safer way to do it. So I'm proud of that. But overall, I really just wanted to talk about my plans for what's going on in this current market right here. So obviously, we're at a time in which the market is just unstoppable. It is just going up and up and up, and it doesn't seem like any news can stop it. So in that case, there really aren't that many great deals out there, in my opinion. I don't know. There are definitely a couple companies that are good deals that I will plan on continuing buying that I already have in my portfolio, and I'll keep you updated on those. But for the most part, there's not that many just overall in terms of the market great deals. So when that happens, what exactly should you do with your investment strategy? How do you make it work? So for this, it's a good reason why I do dividend investing personally. So my portfolio yields right around 3.5%, and there's a good reason for that. It's for when in the bad times, I actually have some guaranteed ways that I'm going to be making money, and overall, I want to get paid out dividends consistently for a long period of time, so that way I can have a secondary source of income that I earn completely passively. And if you think about it, in times like a recession type area, if that were to happen, you could see certainly very beneficial, just some very beneficial stuff going on there. If you were getting paid dividends consistently, the only concern is if we hit a very big recession, stuff like that, we do tend to companies tend to cut their dividends. But for the most part, if it's just a normal, run-of-the-mill recession type dealio, most companies are going to keep their dividend just consistent and flat and not really change it. But there are some companies that grow their dividend consistently through it. Those dividend kings, like a Coca-Cola, that have raised it consistently every single year for 20 plus consecutive years. They do it through recessions even. So that's what I really enjoy about dividends, because you're just assuring yourself that you're making money in the meantime while you're holding that stock while it's going through some turmoil, because the market keeps selling off crap, because that's what people do. It's just psychology. It's how it is. People are going to freak out. They're going to overly freak out. We'll get to that time. We kind of did, if you think about it, back in the end of 2018, really into the early part of 2019, we really hit that phase as well, where people just kept selling out over every single bit of news. And now people are buying over every single bit of news. So that's how the market reacts sometimes. But that's why I like dividends, because it's a consistency when the market is so inconsistent. So I'm not as focused about share appreciation when I can just get those shares to pay me dividends. So if some of my positions aren't necessarily up a lot, I'm okay with earning 3.5%, on average per year on that, and then just enjoying what my portfolio makes in terms of other gains regardless. So with those dividends involved, I should be averaging somewhere around a 10% return per year, which I love it. And if you think about it down the road, those dividends just pay me to buy more stock, which means I get more dividends paid out to me. And that's what I love about dividends. And we're at a time in which the S&P 500 dividend yield is relatively low, I would say. So right now, sitting right around 1.98, 1.8, right around 1.8. So a little bit below 2%, which, roughly that's not an absurd average. If we look ultra long term, let's look at just 100 years out. Average is going to be somewhere around technically, if you're looking 100 years out, average will be around 6%, but that's not happening. So really, for modern times, and average is right around a good 2%, I would say. So we're right at that. And you see during recessions, like here in 2008, that yield is typically going to go up just because the stock prices are going to decrease. So that way, they're still paying the same dividend, but that yield increases just due to the fact that that stock price decreases, so the yield increases as a result. So it's not necessarily that they're raising dividends in those times, so but they are keeping them consistent, which I love. So the good sign is you want to see that kind of a dividend look there in terms of this chart. So you want to see it. This just means that the stock price is going down, but you're not seeing an overall decrease in terms of the dividend paid out. That's what I like about this. And that's what I like about the strategy, because it pays over time. If you go through a period in the market where the whole year is down, if you haven't sold anything, you actually are gaining money because you're getting paid dividend in the meantime. And that's my main focus of my portfolios, is to earn money consistently passively. So obviously I don't have any good visuals for you today, but that's just kind of my philosophy on what I plan on doing in the market. I might pick up some good deals if they arise. I really wanted to yesterday, technically, but turns out that the negative day completely got reversed, so I did not end up getting good deals to pick up. But there were some good deals in after-hours trading if you were so observant, if you were able to pick up anything. But if you bought call options too at the start of the day, lucky for you. You probably rocked it. You probably got some big cashish. But it could have been the other way in case we had a negative comment from Trump saying he wanted to go to war or something like that. So nothing absurd to consider here. Stick to dividends. It's my opinion. Dividend-paying companies, obviously they know how to make money because they know how to pay money out. So that's why I like them. So I'd say go ahead and get some more dividends involved in your portfolio if you don't yet.